Alright, here we are. Supraland. Let's see, did I get this? I keep not saving the layout. That's what happens. Okay. Save layout. It doesn't actually tell me to, like, do that. Anyway, cool. So, here we go. Um, Mostly I'm trying to just get a decent run. Do I have a goal? Let me look at this, the leaderboard real quick. So, my goal is going to, if I can get to speedrun.com. What? Can I not get to anything? There we go. It's just speedrun.com being slow. Okay. Supraland. No, I think it's actually. Oh no, I don't know what it is. Oh no, it looks like my no. It's speedrun. Okay. Okay. I was just trying to set a goal, bruh. Speedrun.com is down? Like, how is that even a thing? Well, if I can get like sub 43, I'd say that's like sub 43 with good commentary. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Um, I'd love to get what would have been like third within like the top 3 or 4. Um, what would have been world record, something like that. Like so, that's my goal. Since apparently I can't load this on speedrun.com, we're just gonna get going. I'm just gonna try it. So. This is Supraland. It is one of my favorite games. It is a 3D Metroidvania that takes place inside of a children's sandbox, a slightly creepy children's sandbox. Sandbox isn't creepy, the child's creepy. There's me. I'm a red. There are reds and there are blues, and there are some other different colors. They're all a little bit racist. It's not great, but they all come together at the end. Spoiler alert. So yes, the reds, we find out, so we start this. Go. Okay. I am the Prince of Red Town, and these are my parents, the King and the Queen, Pavo, and I don't remember her name. That's not great. So this game's full of fun references. So you get a sword. It's dangerous to take a. It's not dangerous anymore if you have one of these. There's a lot of little cute, cheeky things in this game. Very doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's largely exploration and puzzle solving, but there's also some like fairly basic combat. At the beginning we're just slashing things with the sword. Eventually we get blaster, and then what we end up using for a good chunk of the run is like a blaster combo. But right now we're just doing the intro segment where it's not super interesting. We're just getting to do a little cutscene up ahead. We're figuring out why we don't have water. Why we need water, I don't know. I can't tell you, but we need it, and we don't have it. And so we're going to find out up ahead. We don't have water because of the blues. The blues are sabotaging our water by hitting a pipe that is already broken with a hammer repeatedly. Somehow that's doing something. In any case, we caught them red-handed or blue-handed in this case. So we're something's not right. We gotta address this. So we're being sent off to go talk to the King of Blueville and to get to the bottom of this. So this first segment of the game, you're gonna notice. Hold on, a little slick. Just jump up a cliff for no reason. No idea why that works. We are going to be just doing a bunch of getting power-ups, basically preparing for the run and messing really easy things up because we're live. So we're gathering these power-ups. We need a force cube, double jump, triple jump, max coins upgrades. So it's 4 upgrades in addition to the speed we just bought. And so in order to get the access to the upgrades, we need to get those these barrels, which are solving some very light puzzles. And then once we have the barrels, we can... Hold on, swag. Oh, that was clean. Love that. Once we solve the puzzles, we get the privilege of being able to buy the upgrade items. So, right here we're gathering 24 coins for the next upgrade. The max coins upgrade, so we can spend 36 coins on the double jump and then 30 on the triple jump. For whatever reason, the triple jump is less. So we had just bought the force cube. So there's the max coins, which lets us put a cube underneath us, which can be helpful for a variety of things. At the moment, we're using it to move ever so slightly faster vertically and to mess with the pathing of all these skeletons, which are RNG. They are a major pain point in the early part of this run. They can completely destroy runs if they want to. So, I had something I was going to say a moment ago before I got off on that. But, yeah, we got that. So we got the force cube upgrade, and we got the max coins. We're running back here for the loot upgrade, which mostly we're getting because we need the coins. There we go. Oh, yes. I did want to talk a little, just briefly, that really swag little bit where I tossed that crystal back there. So that was like a puzzle. This game has a lot of things like that that are very explicit, and a lot of things are a little less explicit. There was a white crystal on that door, and then you had access to a yellow crystal and a paint machine. So we see that again later, at least once more in the run. No, at least a couple more times in the run. Theoretically, we should see it. Ooh, that hasn't happened in a while. That's fine. Let's try to swag this up here a little bit. Cool. Oh, okay, that's all right. Okay. This section's a little inconsistent. The force cube kind of has like sort of scaling cliffs in this, has a mind of its own. This was the very slow section, but whatever. So we're still gathering coins. The coin routing here is pretty tight. Trying not to get hit. If I do have to engage in combat at any point now that I have the loot upgrade, they will drop coins, which, you know, it doesn't save me time, but could be time loss mitigation. So I don't always run away from combat, but I don't want to die, which is definitely possible. I never get above the 25 health I have now, so you might see me run and try to grab some health. It is just mostly not worth dying. Most deaths are fairly costly. There's a whole death animation, and then you have to respawn somewhere else. So that's the double jump. As you can see, it's pretty good. Ow. Okay, I guess I got ganked. Didn't see that. And then there's a small skip here. Normally you're supposed to go around. I don't want to. So we kind of use the force cube and the double jump to scale this. Grab those 6 coins quickly. And jump across here. And now I've got plenty of coins. I'll have 34 after this. But I'll need some of the... I only need 30, but I'll need some of those to carry forward. This jump looks not difficult, but it is definitely possible to miss that. It's not the intended way. And toss this down here. If I toss that with too much force, I can and have had it pop off past this little button, and then that telepad only stays active while the barrel's on it. So if it goes past, it's kind of annoying time loss. You can just redo the puzzle, or there's a way to sort of cheat up the thing, but it's slow. So glad that didn't happen. So this is the end of the early section, upgrade section, and now I'm going to go towards the red MacGuffin, which is the blaster. So as we fly up here, you'll see on the left there's a red crystal. That is where we're going towards. The route has evolved rather rapidly as of late as to how to get over to it. There is the previous world record had a route, and then I made a route that I don't know ever made it into a run that made it to the leaderboard. Maybe one of them. And then I just watched the any percent glitched route and discovered this, which is a little finicky, but oh wow, I made that look easy. It's not. And we just sort of climb over these cliffs. I had a little bit of anxiety about whether or not this would fit into the glitchless category, but as you'll see later, there's some things that are very similar that are also accepted in the category. So, Oh my, I messed that up a little bit, but that's okay. I don't think there's a real... Now that's a time loss. That's okay. So, those areas, for what it's worth, are entirely, like, navigable by design, so that's not out of bounds, technically. The game is very open in that regard. And here's the red MacGuffin. It's a blaster. We can use it to hit the red switches, and we can use it in combat. So I'm going to stop over here for 1 and then 10 more coins, because I need 40 coins before we get to the next shop. That will give me a blaster cooldown upgrade that is essential for completing this run, not dying constantly. So we got to route those coins in. We hit the red switch and we get out of here. So, what else is interesting? Yeah, so this game is super good. We're going to just scratch the surface of it. Oh, it steals. So this game has a good sense of humor. They put all the health items on cacti. So if you jump and try to get them, you also are going to take damage from the cactus, unless you do it really quickly or really well, which I did not. You're supposed to. We're going to pop a force cube on this. There's a purple button over there that we're going to end up moving that platform to hit. So we did that setup. Because I used the force cube for vertical movement, I have sort of instinctively used it to get up that a little faster, and then messed up my whole setup, and it cost me a ton of time. So I'm glad I did not do that here. What was I saying a moment ago? About... Well, I don't remember now. Oh, the cacti. So you're actually supposed to get in that red MacGuffin section. There is a... See, it goes up there. There is an armor upgrade that prevents any damage that is 3 or less, which is what the cacti is. And we don't get that because that's slow, and you know. So this farm section can be really cool if you do it right. So there's 2 cubes on a platform. They obstruct another platform from going. So if you do this right, it looks really good. Oh man, I've never done that. That's like that was optimal. That was 100% optimal. Like by the time I arrived, that platform was ready to go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that feels good. So now we run over to the right here, get a few coins. I'm 1 coin. I haven't figured out in routing. I think ideally I can take out 1 enemy by this point, because I like to have 33 right now, but it's fine. Because there's basically groups of coins that exist, and one of them is 3. The easiest one to get is 3, so... this is just a little back and forth, a little puzzle solving. This one isn't that complicated. The game definitely ramps up in terms of its puzzle complexity, and this is not a difficult one. There was that blue pirate there. He's real rude. We've been kind of chasing him. He's been 1 step ahead of us the whole time. Everyone's side of Mr. Miracle. This is a meme. It's a sort of holy person, and also the face is that there's a painting a number of years ago that some woman had made of I think of Jesus, and that's a reference to that. Like I said, there's a lot of small funny references in this. So this puzzle is going to go real quick, but basically in order to open a door, the guy needs to get one of this dude over here needs to get in that building, and he says, oh, if you let me in, I'll open the door. And so in order to get in, he needs to be holy. In order to be holy, he needs a halo, which obviously any yellow circle will do. And you might have noticed I just sort of shoved that into the wall there. That is, as far as I know, a discovery by me relatively recently. And it just allows me to go set that paint machine up with red paint so we can move forward quickly. So just use the time. Otherwise, you're sort of standing there and it's just wasted time. So we don't get through the door as quickly as we could, but then we don't have to circle back and go over to that other end of the machine to paint it. So now we have a key card. It's white. That key card it's an ongoing mechanic in this. Lets you open doors. And we use optimize here just to get over that a little quicker. So now we have a red key card. This red key card is going to be used right here to open this for this puzzle, which I will show you in a moment. Once again, we have some blue or purple block needs to hit purple pad. Okay, there we go. And we're going to grab 4 coins in here. Okay, it's not super fast, but it gets the job done. And then we're going to actually take that purple here. So we got our 40 coin upgrade. So we're done with coins, but for one more 5 coin upgrade much, much later in the run. And we're gonna bring this red key card with us. So something I've been pioneering that I don't know saves time. Actually, I'm pretty sure thus far has not saved me a single second of time because of the setups required to make it work. There's a whole painting section at the end of the next puzzle section coming up that requires... Oop, there's the pirate again. Hold on, I have a very specific setup here. Line this up. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, see, as you can see, like, this takes a little bit of time to do correctly. And it's still got a mind of its own. But we can skip I think 25 seconds or so worth of time. The problem is that I spend a lot of time to get that key where it needs to be. So I just do it because, like, theoretically there's a time save that's available, and also it looks cool for this. So we throw that key. We hope that it lands somewhere good. The key has a tendency to bounce, and if it bounces on any sort of polygons, it can go completely different directions. And the setup is a little bit tricky. I'd love to find a slightly better one. So there's a red pirate here. Well, this guy wants to help us out. Oh, there's an upgrade. Oh man, that's great. So that happens sometimes when I'm bad and rushing. So we go in here. There's an upgrade in here. So that red pirate's helping us out. So we just need to come in here, get this upgrade, and... Oh, wait! Oh, no! We're in jail! We got tricked. Wait, this red pirate didn't... Oh, no, wait, hold on. Oh, it's a blue pirate. So... This is a section where we're getting an upgrade to our blaster. So you might have noticed we have just like an orb. And this will get a beam. He's just monologuing, so we didn't listen. You get a beam that you can shoot out as well as a secondary fire. It does basically no damage, but if you shoot the orb and then you shoot the beam into the orb, it explodes for a ton of damage. And that is our primary weapon for the rest of the run. You can skip this theoretically, this whole section, and getting this thing, but it is, at least that's what I've heard. But I've tried to do the run without this, and it is very bad. I've also tried to do the run without getting the 40 coin speed upgrade, which you need to do this effectively. Otherwise, you basically can't shoot this at short range, and it's impossible to kill anything. We hit that for safety, and then you might notice I'm sort of looking around. There it is. So right in front of that door, there's that red key card. Perfect. And the perfect is actually you can get it to sail through both of these and move forward, but like that's very good. If we don't have to go out of our way to grab it, we're in really good shape. So I've got the key card. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to throw it over the front. I don't have to be super precise with that one, but I want to make sure it doesn't end up somewhere. Like, it's not that it'll go away, but it kind of can, and it can be very slow to have to find it. So part of what makes this viable is having the key card land in places that don't require me to search for it. Ow. I'm going to grab a safety health over here because we don't want to die. So the Super Bowl, I have to put it in this little... do this. Block. Yeah, as I live and breathe, it's very finicky. It kind of has a mind of its own. And it does get affected by... Ooh. Did I mention that combat is one of the most random parts of the run? It is. So, there's the key card. We're great. I just need to remember to actually grab it and throw it where it needs to go next time when we come back here. So, let's try to remember that, shall we? So, this section coming up is one of the heaviest puzzle sections in the game. Like one of those, I'd say the first big spike in puzzle difficulty. Took me casually a while, and then when I came back before I started speedrunning it, it took me a while again. So that was pretty clean. That section can get pretty hairy. The only unclean part of that is that this ball got bounced around a little bit, but that's okay. So we're coming all this way just to get a key to get into that building, and we need this again. So we're all good. So at the end of this tower, we're headed up towards the blue. There's a crystal up there, the blue MacGuffin, which we'll talk about when we get up there. And so we're going to navigate this tower, get up it, and we're going to save time at the end by having that key. So one of the things that we need inside to solve this puzzle is we need the Super Bowl to make it in, which there's a thing on the gate that doesn't let it go in. So here we're going to grab that, shove that over there, and we're going to grab the key card. And I've actually had this key card just disappear at this point in time, which is really unfortunate because I spent all this time getting it here. So we're going to try to just hope that doesn't happen. 1, 2, oh shoot. I just messed that up. Oh no, okay, we're good. 3. I still don't know what the optimal... I'm still working... Because the key card's a relatively new thing, it kind of messes up my flow in here, and I've messed up this whole section. There's a lot of stuff you have to do very particularly in this section. These switches I have to hit a certain number of times in a certain order. And it all does make sense, but if you're just doing it quickly out of context, you can end up messed up, and then you have to come back down here, and it really, really is a huge time loss. So, we're not going to do that today, though. Little minor swag optimization. If you hit that on the side, you can actually open that up while you are still on the jump pad. And I'm coming up here. Okay, there's the keycard. Excellent. Okay. So I need to do 2 things right here. I'm saying this out loud for my own benefit, is I need to get that keycard and hit the switch twice. If I fail that, that's not good. If I could find a way to just sort of throw the keycard up here, that'd be better. Also, I completely forgot to do this because I'm bad. Once again, still pioneering the keycard skip. I don't think ultimately it's the optimal way at this point to save time, but I like showcasing fun, interesting things for, you know, if I'm going to potentially do a run for a marathon, I got to try the strats, right? Like, so all this stuff, you see there's key cards here. We skip all that. We skip the painting section, and we just walk right up with this, and boop. So, like, I still think I still hang on to that theoretically there is time to be saved there. But I'm not good at executing it. I could execute the old way much, much quicker. I just lose so much time with that. It's just silly. But I like it. So now we have the blue MacGuffin. There's the float buckle. That lets us sort of have magnetic properties to metal objects, which completely changes the game. This game is super cool with this. There's just, like, you don't realize all the little things that you're going to get, right? And like any Metroidvania, you don't know what the upgrades are going to be. In this case, now any metal object allows us to hover near it, which allows us a lot of mobility. In the speedrun, it's not super exciting, but when you first play this casually, you run through and you're like, oh my gosh, anything that's been metal. And it feels so organic, too, to me. I love this game. This game is... I hadn't had a chance to mention this. This game was written... I think this game was basically entirely developed by one dude. One sec. Small... Just do this quickly. There's a very strong chance I die here, so I gotta try this very quick. Okay. Funnily enough, that is the fastest way to do this, and the previous world record route didn't do it. It kind of just ran back manually. And when I went and reviewed it, I was like, why don't we use this thing? And I was like, oh, okay. That's much easier, much safer. Because over there are all these archers that can one-shot you because I didn't get any health upgrades. And they were real problematic. You have to go take them all out. So, it's not great. So that's much, much quicker. I haven't been sniped out of the air yet, but I'm waiting for the day for it to happen. So, yeah, this game was developed by one German man named David Munich. He also did the credits song at the end, which we'll hear when I eventually finish this run. But it is just a masterpiece for a solo dev. He went on to develop a DLC for this called Crash, which is kind of follows this directly in story, and then another sort of Supraland 1.5 called 6 Inches Under, which is really kind of almost like Supraland 2. It's that extensive. The difference is between that and the game that's coming out soon is that the upgrades are largely similar. It's just laid out very differently. It's a great game. The 6 Inches Under is fantastic, and I kind of want to speedrun that at some point too. But they're working. Super World is the latest game that's he's brought a whole team together to develop it. It got kickstarted. I'm super excited about it, and so excited that I forgot that I need to use the force cube here to get enough height to make this jump. So this looks kind of intended, but it's not. So this is an arena down here. Quiet time for just a moment. Okay, that jump is a little scary. It's more precise than it looks. So that's for, there's a boss called Rattlehag, and we skip it. So that is Rattlehag skip. It's a huge pain in the butt if you end up falling down. I have to exit to main menu quickly. And if I don't exit to main menu, it is just an ordeal of epic proportions. So, yeah, we're on our way up to the purple MacGuffin. which will be the force beam. This section is... I guess I should explain a little bit what we're setting up for. So this ball is very important. So we're going to use it for its intended purpose. And we're going to just drop it and not use it at all. And then we're going to use it for its intended purpose. And I'll have it hit a button. There's a funny little... I have to deal with this guy. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the metal. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. When there's enemies... It is relatively rare there's enemies that spawn over there. And when they do, it really throws me off. So we guide this here to open a button. And that opens this door. And that guy gives you a hint as to where you're going. He says sometimes a door is more important than what's behind it. So the purpose of this door is to let us get up here with the metal thing, the force buckle. We need this all to get this battery. New mechanic for us here, and then we're gonna come back and get this ball. This is unintended. It's not really stopping you. There's nothing stopping you, but we're not supposed to bring this ball forward. So what we're doing with this ball, by bringing this ball forward here, it allows us, there's a whole section where we're going to be conducting electricity. And so by having an extra element here, it will allow us to bring an anvil forward, which will allow us to use that anvil in place of a sponge, a wet sponge. Now, even if we didn't need that sponge for more various things, which we'll get to that later, normally you'd have to wet the sponge for it to conduct electricity, which makes sense. And the wetting of that particular sponge in that particular area is extraordinarily slow. So, I'm going to get in this room. This also allows us, this ball allows us to do this slightly quicker, unless I mess it up like that, and that's fine. Okay, and then I mess that up, that's also fine. We're not doing swag today, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to drag this over here. So normally you'd think, oh, I have to use the anvil to conduct electricity. It needs to be raised up. If I put it on the ground, it doesn't work. And we're like, oh, well, why don't you use the force cube for that? I'm like, good idea. That's what you're going to do the first time you do this. And then you're going to see, and you're going to be like, oh, where's the anvil? I don't know. I seem to have lost it. Oh, somehow it's over here. Nope, that's the thing. I don't know where this anvil is. I chucked it. There it is. Okay, so I've never had that anvil land there before, but that's fine. But if you use the force cube here, this is being finicky. There we go. You can't do this. So you need the force cube for that puzzle element. And then, once again, we're going to hit force cube into purple button. They're pretty good about telegraphing those. We're going to need this battery. And we're going to need that ball, and we're going to need this anvil. So at this point, you're not supposed to have the ball. You're only supposed to have this battery and this anvil to get over this wall. And it's going to show us over this wall, which is going to lock us in there. But we're going to use the ball to take the anvil. Oh, so it is fully possible to do this. Oh! Oh, come on! That was so close to being so swag. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is! Yes, okay. That can be done in one smooth fluid motion, and I think in my PB/WR, it does happen that way, and it feels so good. But it didn't look swag there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to activate that super ball for later, and then I'm going to miss that shot, so I look like a dingus. Okay, and we need to set up this whole puzzle section. So I'll remind you, this anvil is not supposed to be here, which is super good for us. So we're going to... Basically, the whole point of the section is to conduct electricity from that specific spot to the other end, and then it'll open up a pipe to let this go through. And what we're getting for free, what we're getting by bringing that anvil, aside from being able to do this section a little faster, is we're gonna be able to bring. There's a sponge, like I mentioned in this section, which we are going to be able to use later. So sponges are interesting in this game, and it is, I mean, it is lucky, I don't know if that's the word I want to use, that they have this property, but there's an item coming up called the Force Cube. Nope, that's a lie. There's an item coming up called the Force Beam. I don't know why everything's Force. I don't know if that has extra special meaning in German, but we're going to use the Force Beam. The Force Beam, for some reason, as you're about to find out, attaches to wood objects. So the last upgrade allowed us to sort of unlock, if you will, metal objects. This allows us to work with wood ones, which once again opens the world up tremendously. Eventually there's plastic, and that's kind of like the end game. Like, okay, well, there isn't anything you can interact with those, and there isn't. But at that point you have a teleport. So we're going to take this. So for some reason, it attaches to wood, and it also, this must be one of those like organic sponges. The force beam can attach to sponges as well. So as you're seeing displayed in this section, this force beam allows you to walk on it. It also allows you to attach and pull yourself to things, so you kind of can grapple around. And all that's super duper 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 important. But this sponge, you're probably wondering, why am I carrying this sponge? So casually, without... casually, this game takes, before this routing, actually don't remember what the runs looked like, but like, if you do this game casually without any major skips, there's an entire section coming up called Carrot Town, which is long. Once again, it locks you in, and it's kind of long. It lets you get a strength upgrade that you eventually need for like one thing, but it's really, you only need it for like one thing beyond just getting out of Carrot Town. So it's not like it's super important for us to do Carrot Town. So some clever German folks, including the former world record holder Kamuchin, came up with this, did the skip, utilizing the sponge to get out of here. So I'm gonna need quiet time for just a moment. But this is a good opportunity to... the number of throws here is incredibly variable, but getting one is super hype. So let's see. Oh, so close. It's very specific. It's very particular. I'm not like jumping at the apex of my jump, because if I do, I could overshoot it. The worst thing I could do here is overshoot that. So I go to great lengths to try to underthrow, if anything, so I can reset. But overthrowing is huge time loss, because I have to then do a bunch of extra jumps to recover it. It takes, like, loses minutes potentially. So we jump around that. That's it. That's the skip. That is the first major skip, and first of two major skips in the next, like, in this like 5-minute segment of the run, if that. So yeah, that's huge. So yeah, that skips an entire section of the game. I wish I could like hype that up more, but it is incredibly difficult. It was incredibly difficult for me to learn that. I was convinced I would never be able to, and that was going to be a barrier to me running this game. But once I did some practice, I really eventually got there. So you'll notice I activated that Super Bowl earlier, and then I went and grabbed it. That is an extremely minor time save. For something coming up in a little bit, assuming that I don't die between now and then, which is not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. If I don't get it, so it actually was, I believe, thought to be an essential part of the run, but there's a very, very easy backup strat that is extremely fast. So I'm not even 100% certain it's faster to grab it, to activate that and grab it, but yeah, I still do it anyway, because that's what I learned, and it's good to have. The other way is, I don't know, it could be slow. I don't know, but it's a really easy backup strat. The last time I did one of these attempts, my last attempt, I had the opportunity to show it off because I messed up. So now we're coming up to Blueville skip. So normally what happens here is you okay, get all your items stolen from you in this whole really, really cool section. Well, sorry, really annoying section. I need quiet time for just a moment because I messed this up. This is run ending. Okay, so there's an invisible wall there. If you hit the trigger, there's a trigger there. If you hit that trigger, your blue pirate friend comes and, it's actually your cousin, by the way, spoilers, comes and steals most of your items, and then you have to go through this whole long section where you're trapped, once again, theme, and have to buy them back. So amongst all those is one upgrade, which allows us to connect this thing, the force beam, to gold objects. Well, it's sitting here from the beginning, and there we go. That looks pretty good. This is just to let us get out, and it costs 5 coins, and that's it. So we just do that and then peace out. and then I do it not close enough, and I mess it up. It looks stupid. Okay, great. So we get out of there. So now we have the Force Beam Gold module, and we can just leave. I've never messed this up, but you can theoretically if you biff this jump, you'll get teleported back in, and that's also really a problem. So this is a place where I would have a backup save if I was doing like a marathon run, just in case. Little small time save here. So, I was about to say, it is very possible for enemies to spawn here, and if they do, it can be a massive time loss. Because you have to, if there's archers in particular, you have to fight them. So I think I just lost enough. The super ball that I had, I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to use that as another opportunity to use my backup strat that I'm really proud of. I don't know why. I'm so proud of like the little contributions that I made to this, the routing and the run. They're my own little sort of flourishes. Okay, this one I saw, and I have been trying to... Dang it! It looks so slick when you do it right. Kamuch, I saw that in Kamuchin's run. You just pull yourself up there and you can land on this, and it's not that hard. I make it look hard. It's not that hard. I'm going to do a quick menu there just to try to save. I've started dying here way more frequently. I think it's when I'm talking. So you pull yourself forward just to save some time. Yeah, look at that. They try to snipe you. These guys spawn and they will one-shot you. Yeah, they're getting way more accurate. I don't know. Is there like a shadow patch? I don't know. But I've been getting killed more recently, much more frequently here. So I mentioned that I needed the Super Ball. When I need the Super Ball, if I had it, I would just proceed with the section. But I need to do this slight diversion where I open that door and attach that force beam and then shoot through it to activate this. And that's what the having the Super Ball would have saved me. You're supposed to have the strength upgrade to be able to destroy those blocks, but there's kind of just an angle you can hit where you don't need to, and that is huge. So we can't shoot the Super Ball through this yellow thing, so we shoot it over. Ooh, I almost fell in the lava there. Grab this, put it in here. It's another paint machine. And then we're going to paint. So this guy wants gold. So he's holding an upgrade we need, and he wants gold nuggets. So obviously in this world, if halos are just circles that are painted yellow, then gold is just rocks painted yellow, right? That checks out. Good logic. He's not going to be mad about it at all. He's very happy. They're definitely real. He's definitely not sus at all. It's definitely not going to come back. So now we got the next upgrade. This is the Force Cube upgrade. The Force Cube beam upgrade, which allows us to attach the beam that we have here to the Force Cube, which basically, one of the things that they do very well in this is sort of once you get it, you're like, oh, the whole world's open. It's like there's a lot of spots where you don't have an anchor point for it, because this game is extremely well designed. So you now get this upgrade where you can utilize that as a connection point, which opens it up dramatically. I'm flying up here, and I'm going to hit the switch. That is a safety switch. I've died here also a number of times, and it's just super annoying to get back up there if you don't have it. So there's an archer here, maybe two. They absolutely can and will kill you and ruin your day. Honestly, they've ruined a few PvP runs over time. And I'm still at 25 health, so these guys also can ruin my day. I need to remember to jump the platform here. The last run I did, I forgot this, and I had to back up strat on, like, I didn't even know what I was doing. So you're supposed to, I don't know, like, this isn't super butcher intent. You're supposed to do a whole puzzle that I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, you're supposed to be able to bounce the Force Cube up here. We're skipping all that, and just jumping up there to begin with. So I could... so that guy tells me, oh, you know, I have all these gold nuggets, but there's some fakes in there. Can you please find them and throw them away? Which I don't know how he got fake gold nuggets. But we'll help him out anyway, because if we help him out, he'll give us access to his electricity, which we need in this section. So, you're supposed to use you have the force beam upgrade, and it attaches to things that are actually gold, but it won't attach to things that are rock. So that's how you're supposed to solve that puzzle. We just know which ones they are because they're always in roughly the same spot. Although, interestingly, they're different rocks and not the same shape. So it's not completely fixed, but it's easy enough to figure out. If you mess it up, it's not a big deal. Just do it over. The next big mechanic that's super cool is... this is foreshadowing. there are these fireflies. They like to eat. Fireflies really like carrots. And what if, I don't really like carrots personally, but what is the most distinct attribute of a carrot? It's orange, classic. So they'll eat orange things, but really the only thing that we have in the world that is orange is carrots. So they eat carrots. Once again, not foreshadowing at all. So they eat that so I can get through the river, and then I use the force cube to connect this point, and the electricity goes down the river. We're about to go meet our pirate friend again. He's gotten himself in a little bit of a pickle, and he's very apologetic. We did skip the whole part where he steals all of our items for us, and then we have a whole reconciliation. So actually, at this point in the game, so there he is down there. At this point in the game, we were supposed to have... There's a whole cutscene that we didn't do. Thank goodness the game doesn't care too much. This is a little minor skip. There's a puzzle in here that you're supposed to use to destroy that, but I just shoot my beam through the lava and it works. Another minor time save that I found, which... so he has this key. So we're supposed to, at this point, be, like, shepherding him through this whole segment with this key. It's long. Like, this section of the game is quite long. And we're skipping most of it. So, we get this. This is a translocator. It shoots out a little ball. Oh, wow, I almost just died there. Oh, okay, that's danger. I hope I don't die. So, the translocator, you shoot a ball, and then you can teleport to ball. Pretty straightforward, right? You'll notice it's kind of doesn't shoot very far, and there's a really long cooldown. So this next little bit is just us getting upgrades for it, so that neither of those things is true. And you think, man, that sounds like it takes a lot of time, but well, you're right, it does. But also, hold on, quiet time, because if I mess this up, it's really bad. Okay, saving. Okay, good. So getting through there's a brief window where you can get through there, if you do it right, without having to... What am I doing right now? Oh, yes. So you can get there before the enemies spawn. If those enemies spawn, they are a bad time. You have to fight them. There's also an archer in here that can ruin my day. The last time I did a run, he just kept killing me, like over and over and over again. As I respawned. Oh my goodness. No. Okay. So that was taking a little extra caution there to make sure I take him out quickly. This is also a minor skip that I discovered. It's semi-intended. But you're supposed to do a whole thing where you guide these fireflies through this area. But if you run through that paper while it's burning up, it turns them red and lets them burn stuff up. So, love that. That's way quicker and easier because I found that puzzle to be so finicky. So now we've got all the upgrades we need for this, so we're just escaping. This is as intended up to this point. You also notice I'm at 5 health, which is not ideal. Increases my chance of dying in the final boss, which we are about to come up to momentarily. So those 2 upgrades were gotten so that I can do what I'm about to do here, where if you very precisely fire this, the cooldown and distance are just enough that if you fire it... hold on, I did that wrong. If you fire it and then fire it again as quickly as you can, in 4 throws, you can get enough height to get up here. And now we're above the world. Once again, this is all technically in bounds. You're supposed to be able to get here, but they don't really necessarily intend for you to do this. So we're skipping everything else between there and the final boss. We're coming up on the final boss, the actually called the Farty Meat Bag. We find out that the blues don't have water either, and so I was tasked to go find it. That's a little bit of story we missed. And why don't we have water? There's plenty of water coming out. Oh no, that's not that really plenty. There's a Farty Meat Bag here. So this whole final boss, which I'm waiting for the music to get good, is one big puzzle. And you use all the elements, all the tools to your arsenal. I won't over-explain it in case, but it's, if you've seen things thus far, we're using sponges and things changing colors, and it's really, really good. So, I will describe so now I did a little foreshadowing earlier. So we don't. How are we gonna get this farty meatbag out of the way? I don't know. He's pretty big. We got Mr. Miracle over there. I'm gonna try to get farted on quickly. Gosh. So the biggest part of RNG, aside from not dying in this, is getting how and when you get farted on. He turns. I'm not gonna use the word random, but it's. Oh yes, okay, that was great. That was perfect. But it is somewhat unpredictable. That was a problem. That's okay. I need to remember to reset this. So if you die, the key thing you have to remember is to do that. If you don't, it really screws up your everything. So dying there's annoying and not catastrophic, although I am no longer green. So you need to get green from his farts, and that is just sort of a little RNG, kind of. I don't know. I haven't tried really manipulating him that much. So there was... I foreshadowed earlier that fireflies really like to eat carrots because they're orange. And, well, guess what? This guy's orange now, too. Oh, man, I wish the music hadn't gone away. It's so much more epic with the music. But I died. So here's some fireflies. We're going to send these fireflies to this big orange thing that is obviously a carrot. And the run is going to be done in just when it fades to black. So that's 3, 2, 1, done. I love this game so much. I'm still trying to figure out how to, I don't know if that was that wasn't quite a good enough run. I think I'm going to save this one off. Maybe that was my thing. I'd love to get my thoughts a little bit more concise. But I really love this game. I really think it would be a fantastic game for something like a marathon, because it's just kind of silly and fun, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of depth. It's not a very spoilery game. The story is all very tongue-in-cheek, and you see most of it anyway. The puzzles, we do a few of them as intended, and we break a lot too. So that's it. I'm gonna take a little break, and I only watch the credits when I get a PB, and that was quite far from a PB. So, how did I always forget what these different things are. So I actually did the gold upgrade section 24 seconds faster than my PB, but I'm still way behind. Anyway. Let's do, hold on, menu. Kill this.